Hello and welcome to Who Is Best, a show that will go nowhere if I keep covering games like Pyre, Shadow Hearts, and Kandagawa Jet Girls. So as a counter, I'll be covering what many consider to be the worst Suikoden in the series. That ought to get those views. Oh, and if you like supporting channels going nowhere, subscribe and hit that bell for more obscure content. This is The Room. It's considered to be one of the worst films ever created. Funny enough, it's also really good. Not because it's good, but because it's so bad it's good. Suikoden IV is the Room of the Suikoden series. This game is so bad. The majority of the game is spent moving very, very slowly over a boring drawl ocean, listening to the same song over and over and over again. They did away with a 6-party member team for the optimal 4-party member team. NANI? Which makes sense since you get over 60 characters to use in battle. The story was bland and only half the characters are as interesting as other games in the series. With all that being said, there is a charm to Suikoden IV. And like all Suikoden games, you can get a lot of party members. Suikoden IV brings back the rune system with certain characters having fixed runes, while others have more customizability. Rune slots are based off of the magic stat this time. Now, mages are good, but this game is not hard. In fact, the challenge is getting through the mundane battles as fast as possible. Because of this structure, unite attacks are way more useful since they can clear out enemies quickly. So in conclusion, a character with high speed, high physical attack, and high magic for multiple rune slots with Unite synergy with the other 3 party members will lead to the best character in the game. There is almost nothing out there on the internet on Suikoden IV, and researching this list was not easy. There is a lot to get through here, so we'll be moving fast. So sit back and let's start with the here. Ornin's waking rune delays him for the first turn of every battle, and once he's awake, he sucks anyway. Tristan has almost 0 damage potential, making him a useless tank. Pablo has the lowest magic for a mage type, making him completely useless. The low tier. Charlemagne is similar to Reinbach, but missing the awesome Red Rose rune. Frederica is a late game archer with 2 slots and average everything. Kenneth and Jewel are the 2 worst choices of the starting 4 soldiers. They have average stats and nothing to give other than accessibility. Champo is the worst of the cats. Paula is a better choice than Jewel and Kenneth due to her decent magic capabilities and affinity with wind. Flare is another late game archer that is rescued from the tier due to her synergy with better characters. Lo Sang may have the highest strength of his siblings, but he suffers in every other area. Ugetsu and Reinhold are below average characters that really have no place on your team. And the final member of the low tier is Katrina. Katrina is a decent mage acquired very late. There's no reason to use her over any other mage in the game. And we're going to split the mid-tier into 2 sections, so we'll start with the lower mid-tier. Lohawk is a long-range fighter with decent magic and low magic defense. Lohawk's sister Lo Fong is the best of the siblings with decently high magic and affinity with both wind and earth, making her a mid-tier support mage. Kate, Sharamine, and Isaac are all your typical jack-of-all-trades characters with well-rounded stats but no truly defined use. Selma is a battle mage with above-average magic and strength stat. The only reason to use Travis and Jeremy is for the reverse Adonis attack, which is the strongest group AoE attack in the game. That being said, their stats are slightly above average in some areas. Rita falls short of other mages in this list, but makes up for it in physical damage. She becomes a good middle ground character who is well-rounded and somewhat useful. Melee is one of your better hybrid characters with above average stats and high performance in both physical attack and magic damage. Tal is the best of the Razril Knights and can be viable in the endgame if leveled. Akagi is one of the 3 ninjas. These characters tend to be fast, with slightly above average strength and evasion. Aldo is one of the better bow users, with above average stats and affinity with most elements. If you're going for the barrage unity attack, he is a must. Axel has high strength and overall decent stats. Conrad is our first true mage that is here mostly because he's outshined by so many others. Bartholomew has incredibly high strength and decent evasion as well. Rachel is the true definition of a jack of all trades, with no real weaknesses but no real strengths as well. Helga and Carl are physical beasts that pair well with each other. Eugene and Lino pair well together with Rachel. Together they make a decent physical team. Helmut is going to cap off our lower mid-tier. He is an ideal hybrid character leaning more towards magic than physical damage. The upper mid-tier. The kobolds are decent party members, and Naku and Chipu top them off. Kobold-specific equipment mixed with incredibly high speed make them an above-average endgame team. Ameria is an above-average mage with access to the Unite Attack Allure attack. When compared to Gretchen, she has higher magic, evasion, and speed. Gretchen is the better choice over Ameria. Her high strength and defense complement an upper-tier team like Jean, Kilka, and Dorkface. Hervey and Sigurd make one of the better teams in Suikoden IV and have been a staple for many players. Hervey's high speed and strength are great, while Sigurd is your best long-range hybrid party member. The final member of the upper mid-tier is Mitsuba. Mitsuba has the highest strength in the game and can devastate single-targeted enemies. Her major shortcoming is her accuracy and defense, which must be corrected with equipment, and even then can be a big issue. The top tier. Vicky is one of the most versatile mages in the game with above average affinity with all elements. Wendell is an underappreciated character with above average magic rivaling all of the mages that have appeared on this list so far, and above average physical attack for the mage types. Ted can be part of one of the better endgame teams with above average magic, long range attacks, and the Soul Eater rune. Reinbach III has one of the 3 best multi-hit physical attacks in the Red Rose rune. With the right runes equipped, he can become one of the best damage dealers in the game. Warlock is the 3rd best mage in the game, who is beat out by Jean, equipped with the lightning element, can dish out the best magical damage in the game. She's a bit slow and fragile, with her charm rune taking up a pivotal rune slot, but overall, she's hard to pass up. Maxine beats out Jean by being the most customizable mage with some of the best stats in the game. Gao has the strength of Mitsuba with the speed of the ninjas, making him an incredible party member. In fact, given enough levels, he'll pass the ninjas in speed, making him an incredible physical attacker. Dario is one of the rare physical attackers that can unlock 3 rune slots. This makes him one of the best endgame choices for your team. Alright, let's be real. Snow is one of the best characters in the game. Though lacking in magic stats, he can equip the hero set of armor and paired with Laszlo, has the best single target unite attack in the game. That being said, he's the last star of destiny you unlock, and you have to do some major leveling before you take him into the endgame. So he's landing on the top of the top tier. The God tier. Laszlo, is the MC of the game and becomes the best hybrid character. He has high physical attack and high magic, with a fixed rune of punishment and affinity with the best characters in the game. Given the killer rune and double strike rune, you'll have one of the best stupidest looking characters in Suikoden history. Mizuki is the best ninja and the 2nd best attacker in the game. Her Strike rune allows her an amazing damage multiplier, and if paired with the Double Strike rune and Fury rune, can result in the best party member in Suikoden IV. And speaking of the best attacker in the game, Kika has the Falcon rune, which allows her to dish out the highest single target damage of any character in Suikoden IV. Her single open rune slot should be taken by the Double Strike rune, which will amplify the Falcon rune to a deadly level. Now let's move on to the best endgame team. It's nearly universal that the best team is Laszlo, Snow, Kika, and Mizuki. All 4 characters should have the Ogre set or Goblin set with 3 power runes and the Double Strike rune. Laszlo and Snow should be mainly used for the Unite attack, while Mizuki and Kika should be dishing out single target damage. And that's my list. Be sure to catch my other Suikoden lists, and we'll catch you later. Bonus round. The best and worst looking Suikoden IV characters. Number 10, Mizuki. Number 9, Carl. Number 8, Wendell. Number 7, Malay. Number 6, Number 5, Harvey. Number 4, Ameria. Number 3, Mitsuba. Number 2, Kika. And number 1, the best looking Gene in the series. Worst looking, it's a toss-up between Laszlo and this fish.